And it seems like along with Williams and Haas, and I would also say even now Aston Martin, that I don't know if things are being quite thought out the best. What do you think Alonso brings to Aston Martin? What do you think he brings to Aston Martin by going there? And do you think Aston Martin did themselves a disservice by not acquiring new up and coming talent or talent that has come out of the feeder series are already there? Do you think they really just kind of put themselves in a similar situation acquiring Lonzo for next season in the absence of Vidal?
Just to be clear, I think that Alonso making his own moves makes sense for him
Right.
because his priority isn't even necessarily the pace of the car on today. It's a question of how much do you respect him and what
Mhm.
kind of deal are you willing to give him? Are you going to give him a multi-year deal that he wants, or are you not going to do it? If that's a sticking point, if Alpine was not willing to give it to him, if they're going to give him like a 1+1 instead of
Yep.
a 2+1 or something like that, if that's a sticking point and someone else says, hey, listen, I just want you in my team, I will give you whatever you want and I will pay you whatever you want,
Right.
it's totally fine. I totally understand Fernando going over there. In terms of Aston Martin, what are they gaining from getting him in the car? Fernando is a spicy character. Everybody knows this. Everybody
True.
kind of knows his profile. But there's no question that he's a very, very talented driver. And even if the inter-team relationships aren't always perfect, he's getting a high fraction of the potential out of that car, much more so than someone else might do. Not only do you have that, but you have the cachet, I would say,
Okay.
of having a two-time world champion that beat Michael Schumacher in your team. Those are all good
Right.
things. And as we saw in the comparison with Latifi and De Vries at Williams, the reality is that there's no limit to the amount of time a bad driver can lose you. Okay? If you put the wrong person in your car, you
Right.
can't tell the difference between is the car fundamentally flawed or is my driver not getting the most out of it. I think I can understand Lawrence Stroll's desire to put a known quantity in the car and say, if it's not going quickly, it's on the team, not on Fernando, at least in terms
Mm.
of raw pace. So I think that actually makes sense.
True.
I think Alpine really kind of dropped the ball in several ways with that entire situation. They seemed to think they had more power in the negotiations than they did.
Right.
And they also kind of jerked around some of their parties in the
Yep.
Piastri situation as well. There are better ways that could have been handled, I think.
Thanks for watching another episode of Wolfpack Performance. Don't forget to check out some of my other content on Formula One and motorsports topics. Like, share, subscribe, and we go live on the weekends. See you soon.